Good morning, good morning, good morning. Fabulous morning. Your boy, the OG, Mad Money with the OG. We have a few things to discuss on this very cold morning. Uh, unless you were sleeping up under a rock, um, you know that the Chiefs, as expected, advanced to the AFC Championship game. And y'all's new and appointed savior, the face, the standard as it was supposed to be or claimed to be, did not in one AAU Lamar Jackson. Uh, it was a lot of hoopla. It was a lot of disgruntlement. It was a lot of untruth thrown around um, on in this particular case. Um, I myself have, you know, as accused of being a hater when everything that I've been saying about this man since 2020 has come and reigned and been nothing but truth and facts. He is a fraud, a facade, a pretender, an imposter at the quarterback position, as shown and seen on last night. Now, the face, as it were, as or unacclaimed by most people, the face of the quarterback position did its job, advancing to the AFC Championship game and tying Joe Montana for playoff wins with 16. Okay, uh, Patrick Mahomes, 16 playoff wins, only 2 losses. Now that would stand to be a standard, a top tier, elite quarterback conversation. As I've come to find out here over the last um 18 months of NFL football, hmm, you can't hold one Lamar AAU Jackson to those standards. You can't even hold him to the same standard that they were holding Joe Flacco to in Raven Nation. And somebody need to explain this to me. How is it we can hold everybody else? Nobody had a problem when we was criticizing Joe Burrow. Nobody had a problem when we was criticizing Patrick Mahomes himself for his less than normal football play. Nobody had a problem when we was criticizing uh, 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 Russell Wilson, um, Justin Fields. Nobody said nothing. There was no uproar. But the moment we put Lamar Jackson under the microscope, oh, there's a problem. How dare we hold him to such unattainable standards? How dare we point out his deficiencies? How dare we prove he's fraudulent at the quarterback position? Well, to you and all those like you that felt that way about us criticizing Lamar Jackson, I say screw you. I call bullshit. He's been in this position. He's played this position in the NFL for 8 seasons and doesn't even have 22,000 passing yards in 8 seasons. How dare you point that out? How dare you prove that Patrick Mahomes is the standard and the face of the quarterback position, as of the moment he took the starting reins as the Kansas City Chiefs starter and has been in every AFC championship game to date. How dare you point out 16 playoff wins of Patrick Mahomes as opposed to the 3-5 fraudulent record by one Lamar Jackson. How dare you? This is what we've gotten over the last 48 hours. This is what we've gotten over the last 4 months. This is what I have gotten. Oh, I am born, bred, and secured as a bona fide Lamar hater, as someone put it um, on Friday. How dare I hold him to the standards that have been held to Roger Staubach, Fran Tarkenton, Danny White, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Grogan, Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Steve McNair, Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon, Doug Williams. How dare I hold the very same standard I've held those guys to, and put them to the feet of one Lamar Jackson? How dare I? What makes him above reproach? What makes Lamar Jackson untouchable? Why? 'Cause he can run? Because that seems to be all he knows how to do. Because playing the quarterback position as a quarterback, no, not so much. You all of y'all that support that man, you know, do as you do. But I'm gonna repeatedly, as I have been, continue to pull the curtain back, pull the skirt up on this fraudulent person masquerading as a quarterback. And that's about as nice as I can put what he has done at the quarterback position since he come into the league. You Jacksonites out here wants to put him up on the pedestal. Somebody, one of you Jacksonites even said if Lamar Jackson was to retire today from the league with his soon to be third MVP, he would be a Hall of Famer. You must be smoking crack. Why
What
you
up, MVP?
what's going on? I
I
mean,
can't call it, man.
you know, I'm deliberating and expressing my foregone thoughts because I am is I am and people like me and the crew, the Unholy Alliance, we're haters because we're pointing out the deficient, fraudulent play and impersonation of a quarterback that Lamar Jackson has done since coming to the NFL.
Yeah.
I, we,
How's that
we
a
we
hater?
we're all in the wrong for holding him to the same standards that we have held the guys that have played the position, that are actually quarterbacks, that are Hall of Famers, that got gold jackets, that have won MVPs and Super Bowls. Okay, you know, it is something against a certain particular unwritten law to say anything of criticism of one Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Can't point out his deficiency. It's cool that we're talking about any other quarterback. We're criticizing it. It's cool. It's not a problem in the world. But we put their savior, their you know Jesus with dreadlocks, uh, uh, under the same microscope that we have put all the rest of the quarterbacks throughout NFL history. You know, our own in Atlanta, around the league. It's okay, but we put him, Michael Vick Jr., under the microscope. Oh, it's a problem. We can't do that. He can't be held to those same standards. He can't be held to those elite quarterback standards. He can't be held to those top tier NFL quarterback standards. because he's Lamar Jackson and he's got 2 MVPs and he can run faster than anybody else in the position. But running fast don't make you an elite quarterback. Sorry to inform you.
The biggest thing they say he only got 4 turnovers, except for where in the regular season.
Uh, Well, he had 2 more last night.
Yeah, that's why I switched it and said it in the regular season.
You know, um, um, you know, his playoff. See, here's the problem that I have. They all
Hmm.
this hoopla, they pom pom waving throughout the year. What he was doing. You know, with his numbers and everything, and I guess people were feeling like what he was doing in the regular season absolved him of anything over the last 7 years. No, it does not. Them, Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. That's the Washington now. Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders has one less playoff win than Lamar Jackson. Let that sink in.
He a
If
rookie.
Jay, if they go on and beat Philadelphia on next week, y'all know that Jaden Daniels will have just as many playoff wins as Lamar Jackson.
Ain't.
Yeah, let that sink in. And Jaden Daniels, quarterback for the Washington Commanders, in his rookie season, could go into Philadelphia next week and win, will have just as many playoff wins as Lamar Jackson.
Hmm.
Let that sink in now. In 8 years, he got 3 playoff wins. Picked up his 5th loss on last night, deservedly so.
Man, they should have won that game.
Shoulda, woulda,
I know.
shoulda, woulda. But when you're handicapped with the unintelligent mind frame and disability of reading defenses, you get back-to-back years of the same performance. From last year in the AFC Championship game to this year in the division, the exact same performance. But those of us that are, actual football fans, football purists, and love the game and watch the game and know what a quarterback is, know what a real quarterback is, know the standard of the quarterback position that is trying to hold this man feet to the fire of said elite standards as being put. I mean, you got a lot of them out of him. Lamar Jackson elite. He's the best quarterback in NFL history. He did this. He did that. What he did everything except win when it fucking mattered.
Yeah, we seen elite play before in the snow, so you can't blame it on that either.
It's it's crazy. What I'm saying? It's retarded. Because in my opinion, in my observation, in my perspective, I think it is very disrespectful dialogue. Um, and I'm throwing this at the big wigs on the big networks. Most notably Ryan Clark. Who went on this soliloquy about Lamar Jackson being the face of the quarterback position. How can you be the face of anything when you ain't won nothing? I think it's disrespectful dialogue. I think it's disrespectful to one Patrick Mahomes. to utter such disrespectful nonsense when he has won nothing. Well, he got them two MVP. He finna have his third. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Because when he gets up on the stage where it's bright, when you're supposed to be leading your team, you're supposed to be making the guys on your unit around you better. Two red flags right there, because neither one of those he does. I really, it is disrespectful dialogue to keep having this man's name in top tier or elite quarterback status conversation. It is blasphemous. It is disrespectful. And for those that are talking for him in those, you all are just clueless to think that he is elite in any kind of way as a quarterback, because he's not. Time and time again, year after fucking year, he proves he is not elite. He proves he is not top 10. He proves he is not a quarterback. And they, you know, the Baltimore Ravens, they should have won. They were a better team. Well, if they were the better team, they would have had a home field advantage. If they were a better team, they'd be going on to go to Arrowhead next week. If they were a better team, they'd have won the division. Going away. Josh Allen on yesterday, as lackluster as his play was, he did two things. He led his team when it mattered most, and and number two, he didn't turn the ball over. The Buffalo Bills punted twice in that game on last night. He punted twice, just twice, no turnovers. Baltimore Ravens, three total three total turnovers, two of which was egregious by one Lamar Jackson. And the only thing of good standing, of good note that came out of that, he got on that podium last night and he did something, honestly, that I thought he wasn't going to do. I thought he was going to pull a Cam Newton and get up there and, and shirk and dismiss and blame somebody. But he showed a little bit of maturity. I will give him that. I give him that. He showed the maturity and being accountable for the mistakes, for the turnovers that he, what I'm saying, did in their loss. I will applaud him for that. I give him that. I respect him for that. That's the only good thing that came out of that game for the Ravens on yesterday. Him at the podium in the post game press. Now, Mucho, I don't know. Did you see the game? Mucho, I don't know if you can hear me or not, or it might be on went dead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Yeah, yeah. I was saying I seen the game, but I didn't see the after part with him on the podium and stuff like that. Me personally, I actually thought he had a pretty good game. Minus the two turnovers in the ice and stuff. Not as icy as the first game before that, but still ice, snow, cold, and stuff like that. It was he didn't have he, he didn't show nothing elite or nothing like that. But I thought they had a good game. He just needed to protect the ball. And that's the difference between winning and losing games. They had more turnovers. Look at a lot of the teams yesterday. They had the most turnovers. They lost.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And Corey, yes. Yeah. The first turn when he turned the ball over the first time, yes, I hollered. Yes, I did. I hollered. Yeah,
I
I
thought he
sure did.
tossed. He looked like he looked like he tossed it on the ground. I was like, "What are you doing?" So I showed the replay,
You know what I'm saying?
but
I mean, every time. I mean, everybody likes to throw out, he 2-time MVP, you know, and I have every time that it has come out in a conversation with me, I'm like, okay, so but what did he do with those MVP? What did he do with them?
the commentator even said even was like they brought Derrick Henry in here to help elevate Lamar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and now here's another degree of separation with that,
He
right?
really had so.
You know, um, the the masses as they were who were campaigning. He gonna he got to get all his MVP thought overshadowed the job that Derrick Henry did on this year. 1,900 plus yards that this man ran for, and you wouldn't know he ran for 1,900 yards away. Everybody had their nostrils up Lamar Jackson's rectum on his in his MVP chase and run. You wouldn't have known that Derrick Henry, the second leading rusher, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the league. Um, you wouldn't have known that. You wouldn't have known that he ran for what was it, 100, 140 plus 140 yards last night. You wouldn't have known that. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have known that he ran for 130 on last week against Pittsburgh. You wouldn't have known that. Everybody's so zeroed in on Lamar Jackson's MVP campaign. Y'all still think he deserved that MVP? Hmm? I would like to know. Do you still think Lamar Jackson deserves the MVP? I mean, that game right there on last night proved a couple of things. Now I'll say it again, and I'm gonna keep saying it because I know some of y'all got to be hearing that clock ticking because there's an expiration date on this Lamar Jackson thing. It is because with his style of play, right? He's in the 8th year now. How much longer you think he's gonna be able to play this style of play in this league? I mean, when is anybody going to figure out what coach is it going to take to figure out? Okay, we got to get him to understand the quarterback position. I mean, because that window is closing and it's closing fast. Y'all think that dude gonna play another 6, 7, 8 years in this style of play? Y'all really think that? Y'all really think that? What I'm saying, how much more time you think he got in Baltimore? Would he continually to lose the big games? How much longer is Harbaugh gonna have his job with that at quarterback losing the big games the way he's lost the big games?
Hmm.
I mean, y'all out here disrespectful with the crowning, you know, of this dude, and he ain't won nothing. All the while, Patrick Mahomes over there in Kansas City, going about his business, is in his seventh AFC Championship game, tying Joe Montana for playoff wins at 16. It reminds you now, let that sink in. Patrick Mahomes has a 16-2 playoff record, but yet y'all got people out here saying that Lamar Jackson is the face of the quarterback position with a 3-5 playoff record and has only seen one conference championship game in which he lost that too. Ain't seen, smelt, or even remotely approached a Super Bowl, but he's the face of the league, face of the quarterback position. I mean, help me, Mucho. Does that sound intelligent to you? Does that make sense to you?
Not at all. I'm trying to I'm trying to make it make sense. Yeah.
Jerome 6'9". Yeah, and by all intents and purposes, um, Saquon should get it rightfully and rightfully so. Saquon it should have been a two or
Two
three.
running backs.
If there was a three-headed race in for this MVP, it should have been Saquon, King Henry, and Josh Allen. Just keeping it
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at yesterday, those three gentlemen did their parts. Those three gentlemen did their parts. Unfortunately for King Henry, he was on a team that included Lamar Jackson. It's the results. It's the results. It wasn't King Henry that put the ball on the ground. It wasn't King Henry that threw that egregious interception. Just saying, when we're out here and y'all have watched our group, Unholy Alliance, Mad Mike Sports, EFN, K-Style, all of us that have had these conversations about elite quarterback play. You know, and our name is Mud for holding Lamar Jackson to the same standard as we held any other Hall of Fame quarterback, any other top tier quarterback, any other quarterback. Period. You know, and that was the point of the question that I asked just a few minutes ago. ATLEO, you know what I'm saying? Because that window for him in Baltimore, that window is closing fast. And with that, I'm asking the question as well. How many more playoff losses? I mean, when you look at it, I I know the powers that be over there in Baltimore is looking at Harbaugh like, okay, you know, how, how, when is this going to change? It's been 8 years of this. 8 years. You squandered 3 number one seeds. Four, uh,
AFC pass.
four of the 5 losses came at home. over the last 8 seasons. 4 of those 5 playoff losses came at home. So you know that the powers that be over there, Baltimore, got to be looking at Harbaugh. I mean, because right here, I mean, what are you gonna do? I've seen other coaches get fired for way worse.
Mhm.
I mean, does Harbaugh have immunity over there? Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, because I can't see Baltimore letting this go. I mean, let's go. For next year, and the outcome is the same. Let's say they play well in the regular season, and end up with a number 1 seed, only to lose in the divisional again. How well you think that's going to go? What do you think going to be the ramifications? Honestly, I think there should be some ramifications in this offseason. You've attached yourself. You already know, because now this is Harbaugh's boy. You attached yourself to him. You made him the starter. You booted Flacco out the door, made
Mhm.
him the starter, and you have not had any playoff success in 7 years. Have none. You have no playoff success in 7 years. Jim Harbaugh, the clock is ticking on him as well, right here. The window is closing. Y'all gave that boy that contract, and he's done nothing. He's done nothing but take L after L since when it mattered. It's crazy. Hey, Auntie, how you doing this morning? Hope you dress for the weather. It's real nippy out there. The Ghost Pepper said Mark Andrews, 55 receptions, 673 yards, averaging 12.2
I
career
keep
high, 11 TDs. But Ravens fans saying he's cooked. I tell you what, if we decide to move on from Pitts, I'll welcome Mark in Atlanta with open arms.
how's he cooked though? Because he missed the
Well, you
catch.
you knew they was gonna blame somebody for that game on yesterday. They were gonna blame everybody except Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
Henry
you,
got the ball yesterday too.
I mean, that fumble, that was just a good play on the defensive player to punch that ball out. That was just textbook defensive, high IQ play to get
Hmm.
his hand in on the tackle and punch the ball out. Okay, we've seen it before.
Talk
The
about the one
drop,
Andrews fumble.
yeah,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying. The drop, I mean, some would argue that it was a poorly thrown pass. Some would argue like myself that he should have caught it. The ball was in his hand, in both hands. It was a drop. But to narrow that game down to hit those 2 things, nah, nah, you can't even do that when the 2 turnovers that Lamar had led the points. The fumble led to points. The interception led to points. I mean, but y'all do what you do over there in Raven Nation. I get it. That's y'all golden ticket. That is y'all, a deity. That is your, black Jesus with dreads at quarterback. He can do no wrong. And y'all been feeling like that since the day that Ray Lewis came out in 20 when it got around to time for his contract, negotiation, and Ray Lewis was leading the charge on, you get a young man some help. He needs some help. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, what's been the excuse the last 2 years then? Because he's had help. And it's just been my opinion. He's had help since he came in the league and was made to start the Ravens. It's just that he he can't read defenses, and this is the thing that people keep ignoring. Lamar Jackson cannot read a defense, even if it was written in Braille. They took a college football playbook, trimmed it all the way down to its least common denominator of set of plays. Let that sink in now. Todd Monken came to the Ravens. You know where he came from? The Georgia Bulldogs. The same
Them down.
two-time national championship playbook that Stetson Bennett had. This is the same offense that Todd Monken is running over there in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. It's the very same one. And it's sad to say that Stetson Bennett still looks better in that offense than Lamar does. Let that sink in. Now, they fired an NFL offensive coordinator and brought Monken in from the Georgia Bulldogs, and you still had to trim your playbook down in order for this boy to be some kind of resemblance of successful.
Some kind of resemblance.
You could see him walking up to the line of scrimmage, and he ain't reading jack. He has a designated. The play is predetermined. He's going to this spot. If that spot ain't open, I'm running. There is no pre-snap reads. When you hit him with a zone blitz or drop back in three prong, you know what I'm saying, cloud cover, he's lost. He's lost. But Lamar Jackson is the standard at the NFL quarterback position. Okay. All right. Hey, tell
They ain't
Leo
got no.
said
They ain't got no standards.
oh, it sounds better when you say it.
They ain't got no standards.
It sounds better when you say it. I've been saying it for a month. The bar for Lamar Jackson at quarterback is on the ground. There is no expectation there for him. Whatever he does, they're okay with it. This season with his numbers verified for most people, you know what I'm saying, absolve him of his previous, you know what I'm saying, doings in the playoffs. And no, no, it don't. Because last night was indicative of what his career has been as a quarterback in the NFL in the playoffs. Man, they may give Lamar Jackson one more year, if not 2 years at that, because they gave him a run game and a defense, the best thing you can give a quarterback. Bruh, it has been that. It has been that. How many more top 10 defenses does this boy got to squander for people to get it? He is not it. He ain't him. At this point, they might need to go on and switch him back to his natural position at receiver, because that's what he was when he walked on to Louisville.
Can't catch though.
He could probably do that. Lord knows he can't play quarterback.
I don't know. Maybe then they were trying to make him MVP then too. I don't know.
Jerome 69 said that's why I wasn't mad we didn't get Wink Martindale. That cover one blitz style defense always fizzle out come playoffs. I I, I mean, yeah, I I'm sorry. I can't really agree with that. I mean, because when your offense continually gives the opposing team a short field, I mean, what do you expect your defense to do? Lamar Jackson and that offense repeatedly gave the Bills short fields, you know what I'm saying, to go down and score. You repeatedly put your defense in a handicap situation. I mean, what did y'all expect from Baltimore's defense when the offense kept putting Josh Allen them in good situations as far as field position goes?
Mhm.
I mean, I don't. And I, I'm and you may Jerome, you may have some kind of point, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm just saying I don't agree with the perception. I mean, because Baltimore's offense kept putting Josh Allen and and the Bills' offense in great field position. And when you handicap your defense, that's not playing good complementary football. I'm just saying,
Yeah, that that defense usually be the best thing that work for them.
I mean, yeah, when your the offense on your team keep putting the opposing offense in great field position, I mean, what do you expect your defense to do? I mean,
Mhm.
I'm just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Billy Mills says, but some like Mike said yesterday, that boy did put him in that position, but he also did enough to get him out of that position. Andrew fumbled and dropped the bag up though. Again, again, we're gonna narrow this down to Mark Andrews when the two turnovers that Lamar Jackson had led to points.
Mhm.
You got 14 points off of those two turnovers, but yet y'all gonna narrow the last night's game all the way down to you know the Mark Andrews drop and the fumble. I okay, all right, okay, all right. I'm just
Mhm.
I see that's the thing. See this is what I'm talking about when you put Lamar Jackson up on this pedestal and of elite status of top tier play, but you don't want to hold him to elites, hold him accountable. You know what I'm saying with the elite standards in top tier. You know what I'm saying standard play.
Everybody always remember the last play. The last play, they they don't go back and look and see what all took place in the game that led to the loss. Everybody look at the last play that could have won the game or helped win the game, or put you in position to win the game, but you dropped the ball. Everybody look at that one play because it could have made that could have made the immediate difference at that time. Hello.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's crazy though. I mean, e- everybody in Raven Nation and NFL fans are like everybody, want to drag Mark Sanchez. I mean, Mark Andrews. I mean, but I'm just like, y'all gonna narrow this down to that? But the two turnovers committed by Lamar Jackson led to 14 points. He led to 14 points. I mean, okay, all right. If coming, speak on that real quick. I gotta try to get LT in here.
All right, but yeah, I thought Mark Andrews. It wasn't the loss wasn't all on Mark Andrews. I mean, yeah, it was a devastating point in the game where he needed to make that catch or hold on to the ball and not fumble it. But two two turnovers, that's kind of tough.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't
I
just blame one person.
yeah. Jerome said that's true, OG. I was saying that from the overall standpoint, historically, for far as the okay, all right, okay. Billy Mills said, "Yeah, I ain't saying Lamar is the best quarterback or none of that. Hell no. But as a player, I respect that he hold on, he tried to right his wrongs last night, and Andrews was acting like he never played in the snow before. I'll give you that on the drop. Even though it could have been a better thrown ball, but I give you that because he did get both hands on that. Um, on the fumble, I chalk that up to just being a good defensive play. Um, you come in for the tackle and you get the punch out. Um, you know, you I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't take that away from the defensive player making a good awareness type of play, coming in for the tackle, and you get the punch out. You don't get your hand directly on the ball to knock it out. That's just a good defensive play by the Bills player. Yeah, that momentum thing. It's a real thing. When things are going good, they're going good. You know, um, But I understand what you're saying, though. I do. I understand what you're saying. Ghost Pepper said every postseason, same thing from Lamar, interceptions and fumbles. Look at the Commanders. Ricky, taking them to the NFC Championship game. Some guys just do well under pressure and others don't. That right there. That right there. We've had example after example in these 7 to 8 years by Lamar Jackson up under the lights, up on the big stage. He, it is just awful, you know. But everybody, comes and with all this MVP talk. Well, what did that MVP get you? What did he do with the MVP? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying, you get to your first conference championship game on last season, and that second half is just it was the same as this entire game on last night. And I will ask the question again: why is it not okay to hold Lamar Jackson to the same standard y'all held Joe Flacco to, Raven Nation? Why is it not okay to hold Lamar Jackson to to a point of accountability to the standard that y'all said about him? He's an elite quarterback. He get 2 MVPs. He's the top tier. He's the best. But when you hold him to those standards, oh, now it's a problem. When we go out and we point out what he does not do as a quarterback, it's a problem. It's a problem. And I wish somebody would answer that question for me. How is it not okay to hold him to the same standards y'all held Joe Flacco through?
They're different colors, purple and white.
Look, you know, some things are just obvious. Some things are just obvious. I mean, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what else that I could say to get it out there, open and plain. For people to understand. Okay, first of all, I want to clarify one thing. In this Lamar Jackson thing, I don't hate the young man. I don't. I just don't. I don't approve of him being touted as something that he's not. I've been watching. I've been watching NFL football since I was 8 years old. I'm about to be 56 in a couple of months. All right. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks play. A lot. You know, a lot. And growing up, Dad was a Steelers fan, so I saw a lot of Steelers football. From the age of 8 to the age of 14. No, it was 13 when I discovered. I was 13 when I discovered that Atlanta had a football team. All right. Um, and I've seen a lot of quarterback history. Hell, but at one point, Roger Staubach was my favorite quarterback ever. You know, um, and I've watching guys like him, Dan Fouts, Terry Bradshaw, um, Vince Ferragamo, um, Grogan, shit, hell, Jaworski. You know what I'm saying? I watched a lot. Danny White. You know, I watched a lot of quarterbacks that threw for yards. Threw for touchdowns, and got first downs. You know what I mean? You know,
Hmm.
I remember seeing Randall Cunningham for the first time. Like, wow. You know, I remember watching Doug Williams win the Super Bowl.
He used to be my favorite quarterback, Randall Cunningham.
You know what I'm saying? I and all this black quarterback talk, but I never hear any of that. You know, you know, shout out Doug Williams for being one of the ones that actually did it. Shout out Warren Moon, who statistically is is still as a professional quarterback has the most yards ever thrown, and don't nobody talk about that. And to hear Ryan Clark on last month with that whole soliloquy on why Lamar Jackson should be and is the standard bearer and face of the quarterback in the NFL going forward. And it's such disrespectful nonsense when you got that young man over there in Kansas City that has ruled the league since becoming a starter for the Kansas City Chiefs, who
Do you think
has been in 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls and won 3 of them. He's been in every AFC championship game up to this point, which is 7. He's going to be in his 7th AFC championship game. But y'all, Lamar Jackson is he's the face of the quarterback. How in the hell can you utter that nonsense when Patrick Mahomes has not retired and he's about to make his next stance to get to another Super Bowl, to get to his 5th Super Bowl? How can you fix your face, open your mouth, and say that about Lamar Jackson when over here in Kansas City, this man is going to go play for a chance to go to his 5th Super Bowl? Yes, tied Joe Montana for playoff wins with 16. Somebody help me understand. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How is it that you want to put that guy in Baltimore as the face of the quarterback position in the NFL over the true standard, who has been the true meaning of elite at the quarterback position for the last 6 years? Help me understand. Maybe I'm looking through the wrong lens. Maybe I need to get me have some eye surgery, and maybe I can see better. Because I'm not seeing what y'all are seeing when it comes to Lamar Jackson. I'm not seeing it.
you got to kind of look at it like, so if Lamar was 2 shades lighter than Patrick Mahomes, would you still be giving? Would you still be giving him this elite MVP status with what he's doing now?
Nope.
I don't think so. Especially us. You're like, what? He ain't doing. They're saying the same thing we saying. He ain't doing nothing out here special. All he doing is running.
That's it. Some shit you see on Madden, man. You know what? I've made my point. My point was proven about this gentleman in Baltimore on last night yet again. You know, those of you that are going to continually ride down that road behind the wheel blindfolded, screaming Lamar's elite. More power to you. I pray for you.
Shoot, yeah.
I pray for
It's looking like Patrick Mahomes is the standard, and sure, look like Jaden Daniels following that.
you. Just think about that. What I said earlier. Think about that. Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders go into Philadelphia next week and win.
Mm.
he will have the same amount of playoff wins as Lamar Jackson. Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Hmm.
Now we you know, I mean, because for 13, 14 years here in Atlanta, we've heard all the rules and regulations of being an NFL quarterback. You know, you got to make the people around you better, and did. You know, you got to lead. You know, be a consummate leader, a commander, and did. You know what I'm saying? All that there. So why is it we can't apply those same standards to one Lamar Jackson and let the chips fall where they may, you know, on the outcomes and deal with the criticism deservingly or undeservingly? We heard for you know, all these things are what an elite quarterback is supposed to be. You know, you know what I'm saying? But then when we take those same applications, those same rules and regulations, and apply them to Lamar Jackson, oh no, we can't do that. No, that's against the law. No, no, because he can walk on water. He can change the muddy sludge into wine, but he can't throw a damn out route though.
He only threw like three or 400 yards more more than Jaden Daniels.
Look, eh, all I'm saying is,
Look at the stats.
all I'm saying is, when you put a guy on the elite pedestal, top tip pedestal, expect for him to be held accountable by those standards. Running for 60, 70 yards, or in some cases 100 yards in a football game, you know what I'm saying, a few times throughout a season, you know, because I'm going to tell you something, it's just keeping it a buck. Everybody, well, he broke Michael Vick's rushing record. And y'all act like that's actually a good accomplishment. Because
Yeah,
that's Vick's only claim to fame is running for 1,000 yards in a season. What did he do? Which is the same question I'm asking about Lamar Jackson. What has Lamar Jackson done to deserve to be labeled as a elite quarterback in this league of the NFL? What has he done? Has he done anything that Patrick Mahomes has done? Has he done any of that? I mean, don't I like to think that I got all my faculties. I ain't gonna see now. I ain't got I'm not remnants of any dementia activities. My recollection of the league of the last decade has nothing of elite status and activity from Lamar Jackson.
it feels like brainwash.
Yes, and
Feel like they're trying to brainwash.
you got the Fox Sports Network and ESPN, the Dan Patrick's, the Colin Cowherds, all of them, Stephen A, all of pushing this Lamar narrative. All the while, that guy over there in Kansas City is going about his business year after 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 year. I'm gonna repeat this again. Uh, Patrick Mahomes, with the win on Saturday, tied Joe Montana for most playoff victories with 16.
And they ain't even talking about that. I ain't know that.
Patrick Mahomes has a 16-2 playoff record to date from the start of his NFL career to now. 16-2.
Hmm.
He on next week, he's playing for a chance to go to his 5th Super Bowl in 7 years. His 5th, bruh. He's gonna be playing Buffalo for a chance to go to his 5th Super Bowl in 7 years. But you got folks out here talking about Lamar Jackson is the standard at quarterback, and he has done none of that. He has done none of that. But all the Jacksonites say, well, he's a 2-time, better be a 3-time MVP. Okay, and what does that mean? All right, let's ask the question then. All right. Is is the MVP trophy, does the MVP trophy carry more weight than the Lombardi trophy?
Absolutely not.
I mean, because let some of these folks in Jack in the hood in the neighborhood of Jackson, in the city of Raven Nation, uh, you know, in some parts of Black Atlanta, you would think that the MVP trophy carries more weight than the Lombardi trophy.
They need a separate quarterback rushing trophy for rushing quarterbacks. That's what
I,
they need right there. They can
man,
have that trophy.
I mean, when you run for 100 yards in a football game at the quarterback position a couple of times, and all of a sudden you the best thing since sliced bread. You invented the wheel. You know, I'm just, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand what makes him, what in what world, in what parallel universe makes Lamar Jackson the standard at quarterback in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes over here has tied Joe Montana for playoff wins with 16. He's gonna be playing for a chance to go to his 5th Super Bowl next weekend. I'm trying to understand why Lamar Jackson is sitting at home and these people are out here, you know, shitting on Mark Andrews, but yet the 2 turnovers by Jackson led to 14 points. The math ain't mathing to me.
Right. So soon they lose Mark and Andrews, they're gonna be complaining about that because we don't got Mark Andrews no more. For Mark Andrews, he do more than just catch the ball. They got blocks too. Hint why also their running game is so good. And he's an extension of the run game as well. And he do a great job blocking.
Yes, he does. Uh, Mr. Tactician, you must be in a position where you're not viable. I mean, I unlock the door if you take the chat. You can come on in here if you want to speak.
What happened to LT?
I sent him the leak too. I don't know what happened,
Hmm. But
but
yeah.
but yeah, man. I'm just, yeah. It like I said, it's just disrespectful dialogue. When you keep out here and campaigning for this cat, and he's just, eh, eh, you know and he's done absolutely nothing to warrant being crowned or anointed as the savior or the face of the quarterback position overall in the NFL. It's just disrespectful dialogue, man, to have this conversation, to even entertain that. I had to ask one dude on that. Excuse me, did Patrick Mahomes retire? I swear I just saw him, win his 16th playoff game, tying Joe Montana, and to suit up in Arrowhead on next week to go play for a chance to be in his fifth. Let that sink in. The Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are about to be playing in the conference championship game for the seventh time to play for a trip to New Orleans to play in their fifth Super Bowl in 6 years.
And
Now
he's been in
that
championship games since he been
go
a rookie, right? Well, since he been
yeah
a starter.
yeah. Since he took
Hmm.
over as a starter, he's been the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce have been in every AFC championship game the last 7 years. Now, if you're looking for a reason to anoint a guy as the face of the quarterback, as the face of the league in which he is, contrary to some delusional people, you 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 would know that Patrick Mahomes is that guy. Patrick Mahomes is that man. Patrick Mahomes is the standard face of the NFL, not just the quarterback position, the face of the league. I mean, this 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 oblivious minded conversation of Lamar Jackson uh, 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 being the standard, being the it guy. It's just not. That conversation is dead. It's dead, man. That conversation is straight up dead. After last night, it's dead. There is no reason going forward that Lamar Jackson should be in any elite quarterback conversation. You know, and when you look at the situation on its face value, I stand to ask the question: with the powers that be in Baltimore, me myself, I hit a clock ticking on Harbaugh because this was his pick. Now, Lamar Jackson was his pick. Yeah, 8 years now of the same thing from a Lamar Jackson led Baltimore Ravens offense. The same activity, the same outcome. The clock that seat got to be mighty high at this point. And it should be.
Wouldn't it
That
be
seat,
crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy if he was to go join his brother?
you know, um, I it wouldn't be surprising, all things considering the state of affairs that about to be, what I'm saying, with Harbaugh over there with the Chargers. He about to go have um he's gonna have hip replacement surgery and he's gonna have some kind of heart surgery going on.
Who, Jim?
Yeah, they
Mm.
announced that on Wednesday.
Mm.
Yeah, they announced that on Wednesday. Mad Mike.
All calling the bitch niggas. All calling bitch niggas.
What up, Mike?
Let me tell y'all fuck nigga something right now. This ain't the week. As a matter of fact, this is the motherfucking week. Y'all want to see how gangsta I am? This is your motherfucking week to try me. This is the motherfucking week to try me. I'm down with the bullshit. Now, y'all cocksuckers been having that ding ding in y'all mouth for the whole goddamn 5 years. This man been in the motherfucking league talking about MVPs. Well, I'm about to be the motherfucking MVP this week. You want to try it? Come get some. This is your motherfucking chance. I'm putting all you niggas on a goddamn poster right now. Y'all want to come up here with that fuck ass Lamar Jackson shit? Well, this is the motherfucking time. I'm going in live at 11 motherfucking o'clock as soon as this bitch over. And that's all I have to say about that. Command Mike said so.
Mascot.
Well, we got the word. It is going down on Mad Mike in the morning. And Mad
They
Mike's
come in and drop the mic like that.
yeah. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, my guy, my guy.
Gentlemen, great morning to
Oh yes, yes it is.
Top of the morning to
you. Mucho, how you doing over there, brother?
Yeah, I was,
you.
you
Bless.
know, I was running down, what I'm saying, some stats about, one Patrick Mahomes, the actually true face of the quarterback position in the league. Um, with the win on Saturday, Patrick Mahomes tied Joe Montana for playoff win
Yes, he
with
did.
16. His
Yeah.
overall playoff record is 16-2. Those two losses have come from Joe Burrow and Tom Brady. Um,
Mm.
on next week, he's going to be playing. Uh, which to me, what qualifies
Yo, yo.
You kind of breaking up, OG.
you know, yeah, having this asinine conversation, trying to put Lamar Jackson on this pedestal, and I ask again, what has he done to deserve that? When the guy that has and is doing it, you know, no one wants to put, you know, the young man, with all of his endorsements and all of his commercials and all of his trophies, he has 3 Lombardis.
Mm. Well, OG,
Finna go try to play for a 4th one.
OG. First of all, like I said in the comment section, I just want to give this is breaking news. Lamar is currently eating crow, nevermore. So don't worry about it. He has his mouth full of bird feathers right now, so he won't be talking anytime soon. Lamar stands. Your hero has been taken away.
Exposed.
Yeah, he has been put down. I'm sorry. See you in September.
Yeah, yeah,
He's enjoying vacation on the big comfy couch.
yeah.
Yeah. But as far as what you were saying, yes, the standard is actually embarking on his 4th Super Bowl. And that will be determined after said game. And there's something else
Hmm.
that's going on right in front of our face, which is the new standard in the NFL, which is the rise of rookie quarterbacks going all the way. See, I mentioned this on the show last night, and it probably went over a lot of those purple thong wearers' heads. But Jaden Daniels is now setting a precedent that follows Mahomes. Okay.
Yep.
If he goes to the Super Bowl and faces Mahomes, and let's just say he wins, he will be the second rookie quarterback in this modern era to go from first to champion in one season.
Right.
Now, I've also said, and this is a side note, we have a potential quarterback that has the same opportunity that Jaden Daniels has in Junebug. And watch, mind you, beginning of our 2025 season, watch them try to paint a picture for him. It's coming.
Who was the
It's
first rookie quarterback?
Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes.
He, he was a rookie that year. I thought that was just his first start.
I I have to go back and check, but I think either that or it was as far as the championship. May not have been the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
yeah. I think the championship.
May
Jane
not. Yeah, yeah. It
was
may
there
not have been the Super Bowl, but you
especially
see that
for a fourth season.
right. But you see where he's at right now. He has done the
Mhm.
same thing Pat Mahomes has done. Because remember, Pat Mahomes ain't had no since he been in like they had what one losing season
No,
No.
ever since he's taken over as a starter for Kansas City, they have been in every conference
championship.
championship game
Okay, right,
to date.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Jaden Daniels just now followed in the footsteps of Patrick Mahomes. So guess what that does? That sets a precedent for all these rookie quarterbacks coming in because now that's the bar to reach. No longer is just getting in the playoffs just the bar to reach.
All right. And just in case people didn't hear it, I'm gonna say it one more time. Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, all right, they go into Philly and win.
Hmm.
That would give Jaden Daniels just as many playoff wins as Lamar Jackson had.
In one season. Remember
Let
now,
that sink in.
look how many years it took him to get to two. And another side note, like we said, because I've heard a lot of people talking about Kirk Cousins. Y'all sit up here and clown Kirk Cousins, but 8 years and 13 years is still veteran years because they're more than a rookie year.
Hmm.
It took him almost a decade to get past two playoff wins to get to a championship. But as we said, what's the difference between him and Pat Mahomes? Pat Mahomes goes all the way, regardless of who's on the team and what's happening, because there have been times where Kansas City has had to come back.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, from give the people your overall assessment, overall thought. We're gonna go on and segue and let Mike, what I'm saying, get started over there.
Uh,
Mad Mike in the morning.
Pretty much that Lamar Jackson being the standard talk is dead because this young man had to come out and admit he was not reading the defense enough when he made that pass. He got interceptions, unfathomable interceptions. The of like which of the likes of how y'all clowned us in the regular season. Oh, he ain't absolved of that. That's not the standard. You can't crown this man the standard and then he come out here and tell you that he wasn't reading the defense on passes he made. That's bad business. That ain't the standard. But he is an MVP of choking in the postseason. I mean, if you want to give him some accolades.
Right.
But I digress.
Well, we also got the national championship game. uh, it- expectantly so. The Lamar Jackson debacle kind of took precedence. Um, Ohio State and Notre Dame, we playing for the Natty tonight. Uh,
Mm,
I depending on what I'm saying what the group has the plan of. I may do something tonight as well. With the national championship game, so be on standby and tune in. Mucho, give him his final thoughts when we get on out here. That man might do his thing.
Well, I give you something that's better than the MVP trophy that they trying to give Lamar, and that's the Super Bowl MVP. I don't know if
mm.
he'll ever get that one, but yeah. But But yeah, all this foolish talk about him being elite and the standard and all that crap. Yeah, it's dead. It's dead, and we could finally kind of move on from that and focus on some real football.
I like how you said that.
Some
Focus
real
on
football talk.
real football.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for Mad Monday. In this case, Happy Monday with the OG.
Happy Monday to
You know,
Hallelujah.
you got Mad Mike in the morning coming up, you know what I'm saying, on Mad Mike Sports. Y'all tune in with that. I'm quite sure you're gonna get all the heat you can stand, all the info that you know what I'm saying you don't normally get as usual. So y'all roll on over there and check that out. Good topics, good heat, good debates, you know what I'm saying, and dialogue. It's your boy OG Big Sam, the tactician, the
Yes,
big
sir.
one, Mucho Grande, you know what I'm saying?
yep, yep.
We out, y'all.
Later.
Peace.